And whenever we would call the police, they would show up and they would be like, oh, we got a call from your children about domestic violence. And my mom would be like, oh no, oh, the kids were just scared after her like fake suicide thing. I'm pretty sure at this point, like my dad hasn't been able to find an obituary. And so that's how my grandparents became my legal guardians. Well, maybe one day someone will make like a fucking clip compilation of all of my mom's stories and it will really freak people out. My mom messaged me yesterday and said, happy birthday! With a confetti and a cake emoji. And I was like, did you message the wrong person? And I didn't get a response back for a while. But then I got a message that said, hi Kirsche, it's Weed Guy. We had a rough night with your mom. She's not remembering things correctly. Her nurse had to give her a pretty heavy sedative to calm her down. She's not remembering who she is sometimes, or where she is. She's getting very, very confused. She keeps asking for her daughter Freya, and calling me the Nazi guy. Did they have a daughter together? I've never heard of her mentioning a daughter Freya, but she keeps wanting to know where her daughter is, and why the Nazi guy took her away. She's not making much sense right now. My mom has a personality quirk where she doubles up on words. So reading this text message and having it say very, very, I'm just like, my mom wrote this. This isn't Weed Guy. Not only that, but my mom uses speech to text. She doesn't actually text. So it gets, like, she and he mixed up pretty frequently. Because when you're speaking, sometimes it doesn't pick it up correctly. So my mom is now pretending to be Weed Guy, also pretending that she's having hallucinations. Also, I told the story about how my mom kidnapped her friend's child. Well, it was a baby. I shouldn't say it was a baby. Kidnapped my friend, or her friend's baby at one point. The precursor to her kidnapping her friend's baby was because she claimed to have had a miscarriage and that the Nazi guy had gotten her pregnant. This is before she married the Weed Guy, but she was also not supposed to have been dating the Nazi guy. So she claimed that she had gotten knocked up by the Nazi guy and she had a miscarriage, and then she went crazy from, like, the guilt of the miscarriage, and that's what caused her to kidnap her friend's baby. I can confirm that the baby kidnapped happened. I cannot confirm if the miscarriage happened because I wasn't there. I wasn't. Far Cry's very loud! The music enhances the mom lore! So I can't confirm if she actually had a miscarriage or not, especially because, like, 5 or so years after she had my brother, she got her tubes tied. And so she, like, had gone and gotten appointments after that to make sure that, you know, she wasn't still capable of getting pregnant. And to my knowledge, she always claimed that she could not get pregnant, both because of having her tubes tied and because of health issues that had rendered her unable to have kids. That could have been a lie, or the miscarriage could have been a lie, or both of them could be lies. I don't know. I can only confirm that the baby kidnap actually happened. Give back the music? Oh, okay. Let me just crank the volume down. There we go. So, I guess she would have named the daughter Freya, which makes sense because the Nazi guy was really into Odin theology and tried teaching me Odin runes at one point. And so I responded, she's not had any other kids, just myself and my brother. She wasn't having any hallucinations or issues before. What could have caused the sudden slip? And my mom, pretending to be the Weed Guy, says, her mind is declining rapidly, as her body is also. And I said, she seemed so lucid last month, even with the physical health problems. And my mom, pretending to be the Weed Guy, says, it comes and goes. Some days she has really, really good days, and some days she has really bad days. And that's why she has a full-time nurse now. I don't know what else to do. I feel helpless. I want to do so much, but I can't. I don't know what to do for her. And I was like, well, I'm sure she appreciates you being there. You're not a doctor. There's not much else you can do besides be there for her. And then my mom, pretending to be weed guy, says, thanks. It's really hard seeing her like this and feeling so helpless. But she got in character by smoking a bowl before texting. Mother gaslight, wow. Yeah, and it's like, I hate when this happens because, like, I know she's lying. But I can't call her out on it because, like, what the fuck would that do, right? Like, it would just cause problems. It would cause an argument. I'd probably get phone calls. I don't want to deal with that. Is she trying to get you to visit? I don't fucking know. Because she didn't ask for anything. So she does this often where she'll just want to, like, start drama. Mom engaging in gay ops. People wonder why Foxu keeps track of everything. Yeah, this is something my mom would always do. She would like just creating weird, like, General Hospital, all my children, woman drama shit. This is why you hate gaslighting, even as a joke. It is. It really is. Because it's like, having to grow up with a mom who does this kind of thing constantly, and having to figure out when and if she's lying, and when and if she's telling the truth, is exhausting. And even if I don't have to deal with it every day or directly anymore, when she randomly decides to, like, do this over text, it's still just like, why are you doing this, man? You know? My mom texted me. And I'm not going to show the pictures because they are TOS. Hold on a second. Although my mom texted me. And sent me a bunch of pictures. Hold on. I'll just read the message, okay? It was, hey kid, this is Weed Guy. I just got your mom home. I really don't know how to say this, but she's been in the hospital. I came home and found her in the bathroom unconscious. I think she really needs her kids right now. Her son won't talk to her. I'm doing everything I can for her. I have her phone and I went through it and found some photos that are very disturbing. She was covered in blood and she caught everything down to the bone. Her nurse is keeping her sedated so she won't hurt herself. She's very confused half the time. She doesn't know where she is. And she gets angry. We sleep in different rooms because she wakes up and attacks me. Because she doesn't know who I am sometimes. She's very scared. And I didn't say anything because, like, I didn't know how to respond to a bunch of images of, like, my mom naked in the bathtub with her wrist slit. And she also took a bonus picture of, like, all of her medication lined up on the side of the bathtub. And I'm like, if you had time to line up your medication on the side of the tub and take a picture of it, you're probably not very serious about killing yourself. I'm just saying. And so, since I didn't respond, an hour and a half later, I was sent another message that says, hello, this is Weed Guy again. I don't know if you got my last message in the photos, but I haven't heard anything back from you, and this is an urgent situation. So I'm going to take it both of my wife's kids don't care if she lives or dies. Sorry your mother's such a burden for you and your brother. I won't bother you again, and when the time comes and she passes, I won't contact you, because you obviously don't care. And so I contacted my brother, and I sent him the contents of the message after asking him if he had been contacted. And he was like, no, nobody contacted me. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know what to say. And he's like, yeah, I don't know either. Maybe just, what the fuck is wrong with you? Nice try. I mean, the pictures are very believable, right? Like, they look legitimate. Did she go with the tracks or across? You know, she didn't do it the correct way, as it were. Who took the photo? The boyfriend? I don't know, man. Kier, you can't show your mom dying. That's TOS. Put it on kick. Yeah, why would the hospital not call you? I don't know. I don't know, man. You cannot imagine having that sort of relationship with your mom. That's just like, what am I supposed to say, right? Like, I don't know what to say to you when you get like this. Unless she hired a professional suicide photographer. Jesus Christ, Kirsche. Oh yeah, my mom is a piece of work if you have not heard the stories. Another fucked up element of Kirsche's life. Who was my arranged partner? My mom had a friend whose son was just single, so she was like, yeah, like, you don't need to like the guy, just get married to him so you can become emancipated, and then you can just divorce him after. Like, it's all legal, man. You don't need to worry about it. All you gotta do is, you know, become emancipated, so then you can do whatever you want. You're your own boss. You won't have to listen to Meme and Pepe or your father ever again. The axe murderer? No, the axe murderer is the son of my mom's current husband. But he isn't an axe murderer. He was an almost axe murderer. He didn't successfully kill my mother and his father. So he only got arrested for attempted. Husband. No, yeah, she's actually married. I went to the wedding. It was back in like fucking 2016, 2017. Axe murderer OCD. Is the axe murderer or the Yahtzee? The Yahtzee had two sons. One of the sons was like the clinically insane one who would stand over myself or my mother when we were asleep with knives and just stare at us. He was really creepy. They finally put him in a mental institution after he smeared shit all over the walls of the bathroom in the school that he was going to. I don't know why they had him enrolled in a normal school with a normal sped program, because I feel like he should not have been around the general population. She's still married. Yeah, she's still married. Not to the Nazi guy, though. What the fuck is with your mom? Dunno, Kier. If he tried, it's enough to call him an axe murderer. Look, I held his hand. He didn't murder anyone. It's called art. Your family missed their calling as a reality TV show. I know. My mom loves attention. I really wish she would have gone the reality TV show route. But also, if she had, man, there'd be so much more shit about me online. And I was kind of cringe as a kid, you know, I was a weeb. I loved my anime and video games, so, like, I am so glad that, like, I don't have my childhood online. My mom is where all the missing chromosomes go. It's like that scene in Dumb and Dumber. I used to watch that movie a lot. Now, did I ever have my mom on stream? I would not trust my mom knowing I'm a streamer, much less having her on stream. How is my mom hanging on? I don't have to talk about it if I don't want to. I don't know. The last I talked to her, remember, she was trying to claim that she died. But, like, I haven't been able to find an obituary. My dad hasn't been able to find an obituary. So I'm like 99% sure that that was her pretending to be her weed guy husband, claiming that she was dead, and then getting mad when my brother and I weren't buying her shit. The mom who cried wolf. I mean, this is like the 4th time she's tried to claim she died. Those of you who are here when I went on vacation to visit my family last year will remember when her Facebook, like, changed all of its imagery to her being dead. And my brother called me while I was, like, on the drive up there, and he was like, hey, so a mom's Facebook, says she's dead. Do you know if she's still alive? Like, I don't know how I would feel if she died. I don't know if I really care, but, like, I at least want to know. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I talked to her a couple of days ago, so, I mean, maybe she died. I don't know. Let me text her. Let me text her and see if she's dead. So I texted her, and she was like, oh, no, I'm not actually dead. That was the Nazi guy. He hacked my Facebook profile, and I can't get back into it, and he's convinced all of my friends that I'm dead. And this is the same Nazi guy that she said she stopped dealing with years ago. And I thought she was just happily married to Weed Guy, but I found out through my brother that she actually, like, fakes how bedridden she is. And so, like, she pretends to be bedridden so the weed guy takes care of her and, like, you know, makes her food and like, changes her diapers and shit. But when weed guy leaves and goes to work, she gets up out of bed and she drives to the motel that the Nazi guy lives at now, and then she has sex with the Nazi guy. So I was like, what the fuck is even happening anymore? There was, like, an entire side story arc I was completely unfucking aware of. I even thought she was bedridden because when I went to visit her last, she wouldn't leave the bed. So, like, fuck me, I guess. Wait, actually transabled. Diapers? I don't know why she wears diapers. She has a fuck ton of medical conditions, so it could be a medical thing. She could just be really fucking lazy. I don't fucking know. When I was there for her wedding, she was only wearing diapers some of the time, and I was really grossed out because she wouldn't wear pants in the house, and then she came to, like, sit on the bed that I was sleeping in for, like, the night that I spent there, and I was like, ew, mom, please do not put your diapered bottom on my bed. I have to sleep here. Old friends, please hug the new friends. I'm 64, but I ain't fucking Kirsche's mom, please. Mom jokes don't work on me, man, because my mom is worse than any joke you can come up with, dude. What a story to arrive to. Welcome! My life is wild. The irony of a real liberal weed guy getting cucked by a real-life Nazi is kind of funny, though. I mean, you know. This is revolting. Didn't the Nazi guy live at the motel because his meth lab blew up? Yeah, he blew up a meth lab and then he needed to find another line of work that, I don't know, wasn't illegal. I don't know how he's not in jail, but he lives and works at like a long stay motel now. The Aryan nation continues to represent the best. At least he's actually white, right? Like we found an actual white Aryan Brotherhood person. This is all for you new folks. Oh my, he blew up a meth lab. Not on purpose, it was on accident. They were trying to make meth. And I guess he had been successful at it for like a couple of years, but then I don't know what happened, but it blew up. I found out about this on accident because I was trying to look up something else, and then I found the news article live on stream, and I was like, what the fuck? And so I had to ask my mom about it to get more information. Actual divine intervention that I ended up relatively normal. Oh, there are two terrible timelines, right? This is good timeline, Kirsche, even though, you know, I was still incredibly poor and riddled with anxiety for many years, but I could have turned out to be some, like, weird fucking Nazi prostitute on my mom's side, just riddled with drugs and AIDS. And on the other side, I probably would have been some like blue-haired screeching liberal because I went to a fucking incredibly liberal school. I would have been severely bisexual, demisexual, like a trans speciesist, fucking pronouns z, zim, zare, right? Like that could have been the other terrible timeline. I'm gonna turn into that woman who fucked 1,000 guys online. Oh my god. I don't like thinking about the dark timeline, Kirsche's mad. It makes me sad. Scary that this is the good timeline. I'm a VTuber! Given all the gay men you dated, you might as well be bi at this point. Fuck you, buddy! Only one was bi and I punched him in the face! People are angry again. Why did you miss something? You know, just a casual month-long campaign trying to cause reputational and financial harm to me because these people are on a moral crusade and everyone they don't like is a Nazi. I think the funniest thing to me when people call me a Nazi and people believe them is like one of you guys' favorite things when I go to collab with other people is to super chat those people and be like, hey, ask Kirsche about her mom.
Hayden for a 50 says, Kirsche, tell us about your mom. What?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Shit, that got out of hand.
Tell us about your mom. Give us some lore.
Nathan Cassidy for $4.99. Nice to see Kirsche on FNT counting down the minutes until she brings up her mom who dated a neo-Yahtzee. Yes, that's real.
Massive says, Kirsche, please regale us within your mother's recent actions. What does that mean?
Oh no, my mom is crazy. I think I've talked about my mom a little bit on here before. I was curious to tell some of her childhood stories, dude. I'll blow your mind. And every time they're always confused and they're like, what do they mean, Kirsche? What happened? What did your mom do? And I'm sure they're expecting something like, my mom left me at the grocery store one day and I had to fend for myself on a box of pasta until she realized 12 hours later I was missing. No, it's much worse than that.
Are you okay? That
No, I'm
sounds
completely
like awful.
fine. I'm used to this.
Oh my god.
This is like the most normal thing my mother has done.
Holy.
But it's like I've talked about how I grew up, and I have never once, when I've told any story about my mother, said that she was a decent person. I've always talked about how much of a shitty parent my mom was, how much of a shitty person my mom was. I've told the stories of all of the shitty things she has done to both myself and my brother. And my mother dated a guy in the Aryan Brotherhood for over a decade. A guy that was prone to violence and attacked people, and attacked my mother, and would do tons of crazy shit. Convinced my mother to get swastika tattoos. I've had to actually interact with these kinds of scummy people, which is why I don't like them. But all of these, like, seething Twitter freaks are like, Kirsche didn't apologize when we demanded it! Kirsche didn't disavow Nazis when we demanded it! Like, who the fuck are you? Why would I apologize to you, some fucking weird-ass freak who's trying to get me financially dropped by sponsors? Who the fuck are you? I don't apologize to you, because as soon as you apologize to a hate mob, that's blood in the fucking water, and they're gonna try and go for more scalp. Kirsche's mom could drive God to drink. True and real. True and real. Have I heard about the Buffalo school covering up crimes against kids? I have seen a tweet about it, but I haven't read into it because, like, I literally haven't had time. Have not had time. Exactly, yeah. It's like, I've had to actually deal with people role-playing as Nazis in real life. It's not fun to be around. It's not good to be around that level of violence when you are a child. Remember, chat is generally retarded, and it's almost always a bad idea to give them any voice or influence. No, I think it's a good thing that you guys asked that of my collab partners, because there's so many clips, there's so many other streams I've been on, there's so many of my own streams where I've told stories about my mom. I have a very long and consistent track record of disavowing anything Nazi-related. Drug dealing strats are too detailed. I mean, my mom was a good role model if I wanted to be a drug dealer slash stripper slash felon. Butt fucker. Thank you for the 2. It's Kirsche's childhood all over again. What perfect timing for me to read that one after all. Understandable. I don't like making people sad. I think one of the funniest things about, like, all of the, like, antis after the Vice article shit, there are people who read my post on Twitter and, like, me mentioning my mom. And if you've watched any of my streams or any of my collabs, you know at least something about my mom. And there are people unironically being like, Kirsche's throwing her mom under the bus. Like, what a terrible person. Like, could you imagine doing that to a family member? Like, she's just trying to garner sympathy by, like, telling a sob story that nobody asked for. The whole point of me mentioning that is because if anyone had watched any of my content at any point in time, they would know that my mother dated a neo-Nazi for over a decade, and then even after she got married to a weed guy, she was cheating on the weed guy with the neo-Nazi who also blew up a meth lab. And I had to live with that neo-Nazi and my mom, who also convinced my mom to get multiple swastika tattoos. I've had to actually deal with these kinds of people in real life, and these internet freaks would have no idea how to react if they had to encounter an actual neo-Nazi, and not just someone they call that because they don't like edgy jokes. Can't believe Kirsche's manager was her mom. Please, the way Kirsche talks about her mom, it's quite a bit of a trauma dump. Yeah, my mom's a shitty person. Like, it's literally been a consistent 6 years of talking about how shit of a person my mom is. They'd shit their pants and avoid eye contact. And didn't your mom marry the weed guy? Schedule 1 is basically your life. I mean, yeah, that's true. She married the weed guy. And then after she, like, pretended that her health problems got so bad that she couldn't get out of bed, and, like, weed guy was responsible for changing her diapers. I don't know why she was wearing diapers, man. Like, I still don't fucking understand that. I was making her food and everything, but then, like, after he went to work, she was just like, oh, you know, magically I'm better, and I can drive my SUV to a motel and fuck my ex-Nazi. What the fuck? What the fuck is my life, dude? You've dealt with those people too? They aren't the nicest or most sane people? Absolutely not. It's the classic. Miracles are real! Infinitely grateful for having good parents. It looks like it's a much rarer commodity these days. Unfortunately so. That's why I'm grateful my dad's a fucking great ass dude. Did my mom ever contact me after the bath thing? No. No, I mean, like, I had, a handful of messages. I've read all of them on stream, when they came in. After her, like, fake suicide thing. And I'm pretty sure at this point, like, my dad hasn't been able to find an obituary. My brother hasn't been able to find an obituary. I'm pretty sure she was just pretending to be weed guy and getting mad at us because we weren't buying her bullshit. She probably referred to him as her Nazi ex, her ex-Nazi. Makes it sounds like he changed. Why, you know, fucking semantics. It was fake in the end. I mean, I had a feeling it was fake when I was reading you the messages, right? Like, my mom is very well known for trying to garner sympathy by pretending she's about to die. And my brother was like, yeah, these, like, wrist slits look kind of photoshopped. Like, even my brother's ex got mad at my mom because when she was, like, trying to trash us, my brother's ex was like, yeah, well, maybe if you didn't spend your children's entire fucking life lying to them and gaslighting them, they'd be more willing to talk to you. My mom didn't take very kindly to that. Nobody gets madder than a narcissist when you don't believe their lies. Yeah, my mom's fucking crazy. And dead people can't call, so she can't call. Her cover will be broken. Yeah, exactly. You guess the no contact is good? Oh, it's very good. I had, like, complete no contact with her for many years. And my grandma on my dad's side was just like, Kirsche, you know your mom has health issues. And, you know, your mom is the way she is, but she is your mom. Maybe you could just talk to her a little bit because she probably doesn't have too much time left to live. I was like, oh god, I don't want to, but I love my meme. So I, you know, tried doing that, but my mom could not act like a normal human being. Could not. No, fuck that bit. I mean, that was years ago, right? Like, we wouldn't have had all of these weird stories if I didn't consent to texting my mom again. Yeah, after her recent suicide gaslighting thing, like, I just, even if she was like, ha, I was just joking, sorry, mental episode, like, I don't think I would want to bother again. The stream stories would not be worth it. It's just, nah. Grandma's a classy lady. Yeah, my meme is a wonderful lady, so, you know, I was like, okay, I'll do it for you. I don't want to, but I'll do it for you. To what you heard about my mom, you don't blame me? Yeah. She kind of did you a favor by pretending to die. Absolutely. I was like, you know, when I find a himbo in my dating adventures, once I finally move, he's just like, oh, tell me about your parents. I'll be like, oh, you know, my dad's a great guy. Can't wait for you to meet him. I'm sure you'll get along great. My mom pretended that she killed herself. So I'm just gonna act like she did. I just thought it was funny that aunties are unironically defending an actual, like, fucking Nazi person in an effect to, like, denigrate me. Dude calling his dad an alcoholic? Yeah. Well, like, when the father said that, it brought back a memory to my brain of when I was down in North Carolina. So I was either 15 or 16 when this happened. My brother would have been, if I was 15 minus 3, 12, right? Yeah, 12 or 13. And whenever my mom and whoever she's dating at the time got in, like, a fight, and when I say a fight, I don't mean yelling, I mean, like, a fight. Whenever they got into a fight, you know, they would go for, like, a couple of minutes, and then either when one of them broke something or one of them started bleeding, my mom would start screaming at us to call the police. And whenever we would call the police, they would show up and they would be like, oh, we got a call from your children about domestic violence. And my mom would be like, oh no, oh, the kids were just scared. You know, there was some yelling, but there's nothing wrong. And then the police would leave and my brother and I would be like, well, what the fuck did we even call? Like, what the fuck was the point of that then? Like, what? Like, you make us, like, look like we're fucking making shit up, dude. And so this happened when I was in North Carolina. Her and the Nazi that she was with at the time, the same Nazi that I tell stories about. It's not a different one. She only dated the one Nazi. But I'm specifying which guy it was. They were fighting. And they were, you know, like, fucking fisticuffsing in the living room. My brother and I were sitting on the couch, and I was playing Pokemon, because, you know, that's what you do when your parents are punching the fuck out of each other. Well, my one parent and then the Nazi. And eventually, you know, like, he hit my mom in such a way where, like, it fucking, I don't know if it dislocated something, but whatever. She, like, fucking screamed in pain. Obviously, my brother and I just kept doing what we were doing because we're used to it. Doesn't fucking matter. She started screaming at us to call the police, and he pushed her over on the floor and started yelling at her. And while he's yelling, she managed to get up and grab the phone and throw it at us. And you know, that's not very cool. It kind of hurt. But my brother threw the phone at me and was like, yeah, I don't want to call, you call. And I threw it back at him. And I was like, I don't want to call, you call. And then we're tossing the phone back and forth because neither of us want to fucking call the cops. While he's running back at her, going to, like, fucking kick her while she's on the floor. And my brother eventually gets up and he's like, I'm fucking sick of all of you. And he runs out the back door. And so I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. So I call the cops. Because now, you know, I got fucking Nazi in the house beating my mom, and my brother has left. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do, right? So I call the cops. I'm like, they're still fighting. I go out the back door to see if, like, my brother's just in the backyard. I can't find him. I go back in, and I'm like, oh, where's the Nazi at? And my mom's like, oh, I told him to drive off because the cops were gonna be here. And I'm just like, what? Why the what? Ah! Like, I understand why my brother left, right? And then And then after the cops leave, because she's like, oh, the kids were just scared, don't worry about it. After the cops leave, he drives back, and because he's drunk, he, like, almost fucking flips the car over, driving around the, like, curve thing to get back to the house she was staying at. I was like, it's just so fucking obnoxious. It's so fucking obnoxious. Like, this man has the patience of a saint, dude. Like, that's all I have to say. Anyone demonizing the male, like, parental figure in this situation is a lunatic.
It's okay, you can record.
And she just wanted the Nazi to stop beating her. Well, maybe she shouldn't have started it. Like, we're so fucking used to it at this point, dude. My mom only dated men and got into fights with them. Like, I've watched my mother get arrested for fighting people, whether she was dating them or at a bar or at the porn shop or at, like, a biker club or, like, in the parking lot of a Walmart, or, like, I would get woken up in the middle of the night by the police and they're just like, oh, you're gonna have to wake up your brother, you're gonna come with us, we're gonna put you at your grandparents' house, your mother's unavailable for the rest of the night. Like, we were just used to it, okay? A woman moment. Kirsch's mom probably liked calling him Mein Führer. The Walmart parking lots are wild. They are. Wait, porn shop? Yeah, my mom worked at a porn shop for a while. Like, she wasn't like a model or anything. When I say porn shop, I mean, like, you go in and you buy, like, smut mags or porn videos or, like, dongs, like, it's like a convenience store, but for adult objects. She should have just taken up kickboxing. Who starts a fight at a porn shop? Women? Was she heavy on the Pabst Blue Ribbon? Oh no, my mom was a Budweiser girl. She drank Budweiser and she smoked Marlboro Reds, baby. Red-blooded American. Your mom is quite the character. Is she your mom is not a kick street? Dude, she would make buku bucks on kick. When I was young, I can't remember how old I was. I was probably like 8 or 9, maybe 10. But I learned how to, like, clean blood and stuff off of pavement, because occasionally, like, she would just get into fights with other women. I don't know what over, right? Like, I have no idea why they'd be maybe fighting over men, maybe money. I don't fucking know. Drugs? Who knows? But I learned how to clean blood off of pavement because you don't want any evidence if the other woman who got her face beat in calls the cops. But I learned how to clean the blood off of pavement because she would constantly, like, when she would fight other women, her signature thing would be to, like, grab them by the hair to sort of, like, disable them. And then she would grab their hands and hold them behind their back and then push them to the ground, smash their face into the pavement, and then, like, rub it in. And so there was like a lot of blood and, like, skin and sometimes teeth that would happen there. Oh my god. When I had one of my friends come stay with me, because I wanted to show him just, like, how fucking wild shit was. I was like, I don't even need to, like, prep you, because if you're gonna spend, like, 2 days here, something is gonna happen. And when he was up in the motel with me, so I must have been, like, 16 at this time, because it was after she moved back from North Carolina, there was, like, she was staying at a long-term motel, and next to her was an escort that she affectionately called Meals on Wheels. And there were a lot of, like, fucking druggies in the rest of the long stay rooms at the place that she was at. And there was a couple upstairs that looked like fucking meth heads. They had mush mouth. They had, like, the super thinning hair. Their skin was, like, that grotesque color. They had track marks, right? I don't know what they were fighting over. But that couple and my mom and her Nazi did not like each other. And the Nazi was outside grilling in the parking lot. And my mom was sitting outside, like in a bikini top and some fucking Bermuda shorts smoking. My friend and I are inside. I don't know what I was doing. Probably playing Pokemon again. But my friend was hanging out. We had the TV on. My brother was off with his friends biking somewhere. And the couple from upstairs comes down, starts arguing with my mom and her Nazi. I have no idea what's going on. He gets mad. He punches, like, the guy from the upstairs couple. And then my mom starts fighting the chick. She yells at us inside to, like, grab a bucket. I comply. My friend just like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, I told you. Like, shit just happens. And my mom had an SUV. And she smashed the lady's face into the window of the SUV. And when that wasn't enough, she started bashing this woman's head against the hood of the SUV. I don't think that woman had any teeth left. Like, by the time I got outside, the amount of, like, just human I had to clean up. Like, there were so many fucking teeth. I have absolutely no clue how that woman was able to eat food after that. Holy shit, yeah. That was wild. This is what trained Kirsche to become the quine bob she is today. Did my mom ever kill someone? Holy Christ, no. But I'm sure she came close a handful of times, because she was a brutal woman. I've seen her in a lot of fights, right? And I think the only fights that I would technically say she lost are against the guys she was dating. I don't think I've ever seen her lose like a fist fight that I have personally been present for her starting. This is why Kira's so nice to her mods. She had the job of Janny growing up. I did. If only she used her powers for good. If only, man. And she's a true warrior. I think you should amend that to no, not that I'm aware of. True, not that I'm aware of she's killed anyone. Because she trains above her weight class. True. Was she the top bitch in prison? I actually don't know much about her time in prison. And she did only end up serving like a little over a year before she got probation. And then I think my brother and I had like 10 months of supervised visits before she got custody back. How did I turn out so well? I don't know, but I am a VTuber, you know, like... Kirmom's the heavyweight champ of drunken bar brawls. You're genuinely surprised nobody has shot my mom yet? Seriously, you're telling me nobody pulled a gun on her ever? At least not when I was present. I'd imagine most of the people she's fighting probably have criminal records, which would exclude them from acquiring a firearm in Massachusetts, as it were. How did she get custody back? I don't know. That's a great question. She's an anxiety-ridden fox who, yes, my mother is the primary reason why I am riddled with anxiety. as you could probably imagine. Maybe she wanted custody of you to make anyone with a conscience think twice about pulling a gun. I mean, she did use us to steal things all the time, right? Like, especially in the winter time when I was wearing, like, the nice puffy jackets that my dad and my grandma bought me to keep me warm because I was a small child. She'd be like, "Oh, damn, I can fit so many items in that puffy jacket." The worst was when she would, like, use me to steal lingerie, though, because it's like, "Mom, I don't want to see your fucking lace thongs. That's weird." Yeah, my mom's not a good person, chat. Sometimes retards on Twitter will be like, Kirsche's mom was literally a Nazi. That means Kirsche's a Nazi. She talks about her mom, and it's like, yeah, every time I talk about my mom, it's like how she's a bad person, okay? A succulent Chinese meal. That's what you could call your girlfriend, too, if she's a Chinese spy. We're gonna have a celebration stream for when she dies. Fuck, she's terrible. I still haven't found an obituary for her, so I don't think she's dead. I'm pretty sure she was lying. I'm pretty sure that was her pretending to be her weed guy husband, who was also lying about herself having died. I can't, like, really check because she, like, locked up her Facebook profile. So I can't really check, which is unfortunate, but, like, I'm pretty sure she's not dead, which is also unfortunate. Hope she somehow changes her ways, but no, she's too old for that. She's too old for that, man. This sounds like something she would do. Of course she's on Facebook. Man. My mom is one of those people who post those, like, really shitty Facebook memes where it's, like, a picture of Harley Quinn on, like, a really badly photoshopped background. And they're just like, I need a man who can handle my type of crazy, and I'm worth it. The crazy is worth it, man. I'm a beautiful woman. It's so fucking strange. Some people got no fix, and yeah, pretty fucking much. Considering what we found out about her later, that may have been intentional. Thankfully, she didn't pass on her diaper fetish to you. Well, I don't know if it's a diaper fetish or if she's just, like, really fucking lazy. Like, I have no idea, man. The fact that your mom had custody of you and not your dad just shows how BS the family court systems are. Oh no, you don't even know the half of it. You don't even know the fucking half of it. My mom was actually taken to court to have her custody rights revoked. And the judge deemed her an unfit mother. And my dad was like, well, like, I still live at home, but, like, I'm gainfully employed. I have full-time employment, and I'm working on getting my own place So I feel like I am capable of taking care of my daughter. And the judge was like, oh, you know, you make a good point. But then my mom was like, excuse me, I am the mother, and if I cannot have custody, I do not want the father to have custody either. And the judge was like, oh yeah, you're a woman, and that also is a good point, so I guess we won't give the father custody. And my grandparents were like, excuse us, we have raised 4 children, and her father lives with us, and we don't want our granddaughter in the adoption system. So can we take her? Can we, like, we've raised 4 kids, we could do one more, you know, like, we're not tapped out yet. And the judge was like, oh, okay, you know, I guess that makes sense. We could keep it in the family, I suppose. And so that's how my grandparents became my legal guardians, because the family court system is absolutely fucking retarded and completely stacked against men for literally no fucking reason. It makes no goddamn sense. The fuck is wrong with that judge? I literally could not tell you. It is like the most brain damaged thing. And then 15 years. Well, it's probably more like 13 years later, because I was like 1 or 2 at that point. I was very young, maybe 3. I don't know. I was super fucking young. I don't have memories of this. I just have like what I was told by everyone involved. There's a reason, and it makes sense to them, and you know why it's like that. Yeah, well, it's fucked. It's fucked and it's dumb. But when I was 15, I was down at my mom's place. My mom moved from Massachusetts to North Carolina. And for those of you who don't live in the United States, North Carolina is about a 12-hour drive, give or take, from Massachusetts. And so my mom moved from Massachusetts to North Carolina, and she was like, I want to have my daughter for the whole summer. And my dad was like, that makes me really uncomfortable, but I can't tell you no, because I'm sure you will take me to court over it, so I guess I will relinquish my daughter for an entire summer. If you have any issues with your mother, please fucking call me. Please call me immediately, because I do not feel safe with you being there alone so far away. And, aside from the other weird shit my mom did while I was there, she also petitioned the court to give her higher child support from my father. And my father was like, you don't even live in the state anymore. Like, you can't see her 3/4 of the fucking year. What do you mean higher child support? But by this point, my father was so battered by the court system, he was just like, it's not even worth fighting. I don't even want to fight this. I'm just going to give your mother what she wants to shut her the fuck up. I don't even want to deal with this. I don't want to have another judge be a piece of shit. I am exhausted. I am tired of dealing with this demon in human form. And so he just relented and decided to pay higher child support, because he just had given up dealing with her at that point. Why would she get child support when you didn't live with her? That's a good fucking question. He had been paying child support to her my entire fucking life, despite me not living with her full time. She had custody to, like, see me on, like, weekends and vacations and shit. But, like, my grandparents were my legal guardians, so, like, why he was paying child support at all is another indication of how shitty the family court system fucking is. And doubly so, that she petitioned for higher child support and the judge granted it to her despite her moving 12 fucking hours away. Any alimony for the accustomed to a certain lifestyle crap? No, they never got married. They never got married, and they had me when they were very, very, very young, so it's not like my dad had any assets to give anyways, even if they had gotten married. If you were your father, there wouldn't be a moment without your body being engulfed in rage. Friendly reminder that this summer, after she had petitioned him for higher child support and he just gave up, my 16th birthday was that summer. And not only did she continue the streak of not giving me any gifts, but that was the summer where she pulled the, actually, your father's not your real father. Your father's actually your uncle, and so you don't really need to listen to your grandparents or your dad, who you thought was your dad, because that's not your real family. It's just, you know, they were more well off, and so I thought that you could get into a better school district and they could provide better for you because they were wealthier than your uncle, who's actually your father was. That was a complete lie. by the way. It was a complete fucking lie. But I like was, you know, in turmoil over it because I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck do you mean? My mom wouldn't lie to me, right? Like, I said, what is this? So when I got home and I told my dad about it, that was probably the angriest I've ever seen my father in my entire life. Like, I've seen my dad get mad. I've seen my dad get real mad, but like, that was like, I am surprised my father had the self-control to not put his fist through the wall. Like, he was angry. My mom wouldn't lie to me. Apparently, Kirsche was a mark at 16. My mom lied a lot, and she did a lot of bad things to me, but, like, you know, when you're a child, you still have that, like, but it's my parent, and my parent wants what's best for me. Why? So, like, anything bad that happened, like, must be my fault, right? Because, like, I'm just a dumb child, and, like, they're the adults, so, like, everything must be fine, right? Your dad has the patience of a saint. After I turned 18 and my mom pulled like her literal, well, I don't think I was 18 yet, actually. I was 17, and my mom pulled like her literal final stunt. My dad was just like, you're gonna be 18 soon, and like, I've always tried to hold my peace, and I don't want to talk bad about your mother. I don't want to influence your opinion of your mother. Anything, you know, you want to do with your mother, that's your prerogative, but like, you really gotta think about, is this the kind of shit you really want to be dealing with for the rest of your life? It was like the nicest way for him to say, your mother's a piece of shit, you should probably cut ties. Oh my god. Your parents lied to you way less than my mom. You never had that much trust. Kirsche, you were a born sucker. Look, man. Look, man. I don't want to influence your decision making, but your mother's a fucking psycho. At this point, it'd be cheaper and healthier to... The rest of this chat is not TOS compliant. Father's too good of a man for this kind of world. He is a wonderful man. And I hope that one day I find a man very similar to him. And Kirsche's anonymity isn't to protect her from us, it's to protect her mother from us. I think it's to protect you guys from my mother, actually. But yeah, my mom would basically just hotbox my brother and I in the car. Like, I'm pretty sure she didn't even stop smoking while she was pregnant, which is like, what the fuck are you doing? But after we were born, like, she would smoke in the house, she would smoke in the car with the windows up. Like, she did not care where we were. She would just smoke around us. And my dad, on the other hand, my dad would go outside even in blizzard conditions to smoke if he needed a cigarette, because he didn't want the smoke, like, around me, especially because my asthma was super fucking bad as a kid, probably exacerbated by how much secondhand smoke I was inhaling from my mother. Blew the smoke directly onto your fetus. Yeah, pretty much. Damn, smoking with the windows up is really bad. Yeah, my mom was a menace with the car. She would drink her rum and cokes while driving. She would, like, put them in the giant McDonald's cups so, like, cops wouldn't know. I'm sure if she got pulled over, they would smell it, but, like, you know. She would drink rum and cokes, and she was one of the people who's like, yeah, I drive better when I've been drinking. And then she would chain smoke in the car with the windows up, and sometimes if we're on, like, a road with no other cars on it, she would do that thing where she would swerve, like, very violently back and forth, left to right, to, like, kind of freak us out, because she thought it was funny to traumatize the children. Your parents are old enough to get drive-through alcohol? What the hell? Fucking how did your dad stick his dick in your mom? She's got big tits. You hope she's dying and it hurts the entire time. I got a message on January 1st from her weed guy's phone number saying, I hope you kids are happy. Your mother's dead now. And obviously I didn't reply because I haven't been replying since they've been being really fucking weird. But, like, I just don't believe him. My mother's faked her death so many times that being told she's dead evokes a feeling of, I'll believe it when I see the obituary, basically. I asked my brother if he got the message, and he was like, nope. probably waiting to try and guilt trip me over it, so they say something different than what they told you, like with the pitches. Your mom is just proof of the crazy puss is amazing. Jesus Christ. How is this broad even real? Maybe one day someone will make like a fucking clip compilation of all of my mom stories and it will really freak people out. Still want me to post an anime girl with comparable size so we know how big these are, because the promotion you make for her tits is incredible. I don't know if I could find someone. Oh yeah, with like my mom-sized tits. That's images. Oh, this is a black woman, but this is pretty accurate. My mom is not black. Disclaimer. my mom is not black. But like this is pretty accurate to the size of my mom's tits. Now you just have to imagine Nazi bolts over her heart and a swastika in the center of her chest, right where her cleavage is, and then you'll have a pretty good picture of my mom. She also has face tattoos. She has an eye drop, and she has a series of stars that go over her eyebrow and down the side of her face. Because of course she does. She's kind of fucking crazy. Holy moly. Your mom is black. I prefaced this with my mom isn't black, chat. There will be art by the end of stream, I'm sure of it. I love Mayer's art of my family. Mayer does amazing meme art of me looking like a fucking retard, my mom looking like white trash, and my dad looking like a cool lumberjack guy. Did she actually kill someone for the eye drop? Well, if she's not actually dead, maybe I'll get a chance to ask her. No man would have a chance. Oh my god. You could accidentally dox her, which means doxing you. Don't worry, even if people found my mother's information, they would never be able to find me off of it. It's a wonderful thing to have. Quick, someone hire a police sketch artist. Might make me a heretic, but there's such a thing as too big at some point. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck, short kings, if that's your dream. She turns around and smacks you with either one of those chest hams, and it's lights out! True! No matter the size of the booba, you don't think you'd stomach the SS and swastika tattoos? She's had them covered up. She unfortunately had them on her chest for like a decade, so it was really fucking embarrassing to be seen in public with her when I was a kid. Like, I don't think you can understand the level of embarrassing it is to be out in public with your parent because you're a child and you have no fucking choice, and they're literally wearing like those kinds of symbols inked into their fucking skin. Classy woman. Oh my god, find a safe for work picture of Claudia Marie. Why would you get tat gifts from, or why would you tat gifts from God like that? Somehow those tits went beyond your imagination and you always imagine way too big. Oh my god. Were those some great brig breast on your computer screen? They were. Also in New England, that shit really stands. It does. It does stand out. And not only does she also have like this obnoxious shit tattooed on her. Again, thankfully she got them covered up in more recent years. But like that doesn't matter because I was an adult when she got them covered up. So I still had to suffer the public humiliation of being seen with that. But she would also be really obnoxiously loud because all poor ghetto people are obnoxiously loud in public. It's like a genetic thing. If you're poor and you live in a ghetto, you're going to be obnoxious in a public setting. I don't understand why that is, but that just seems to be the case. So like she would be in a Walmart like trying to use an ATM and it wouldn't work because she's like not pushing the right buttons. So she would start like screaming at it. And then her like Nazi boyfriend would try calming her down and she would start screaming at him. And then he would like grab her by the hair and start screaming at her. And then she would try punching him. And then my brother and I would slowly slink off and go to the candy aisle because we didn't want to be seen with that. Can confirm, grew up in a ghetto. Poor self-control and poor checks out. When the Nazi is the voice of reason, I wouldn't go that far. You need a version of me that is as old as my dad. My mom is crazier than me, so I mean, you could take that risk if you really wanted to. It's like if you took me and then made me dangerous and violent and an alcoholic and a drug addict and also someone with the proclivity to make sex tapes. You could probably deal with my mom. She's in diapers now, though, so, you know. No, not the mom! Your mom is becoming an ABDL. I hope she doesn't develop a fetish for that. You need the mom lore update of the adult diapers? What happened to cause that? I have no idea. I have no idea. Just not the last time I visited my family, but like the last time I saw my mom in person, which probably was for her wedding, if I'm remembering correctly, because it wasn't this year, it was like fucking years ago. She would just like walk around the house without pants on, so she would just like, you know, have her diaper on. And I was in the guest room, and it's like, you know, if you're like, I get it's your house, right? But like, please don't sit on the bed that I'm gonna sleep on in your diaper without like pants on. So I was like, I'm assuming it's like a health issue thing. I was assuming it's a health issue thing. Shill your mom's MLM. I don't think my mom has an MLM. I don't know what the fuck she's doing anymore. I don't know what she's doing. When was the last time I got a weird message? I don't know where I left off in like the saga of reading my mom's the threatening messages. I think I remember doing the hello, this is weed guy again. I don't know if you got my last message with the photos, but I haven't heard anything back from you. This is an urgent situation. I'm gonna take it. Both my wife's kids don't care if she lives or dies. That was like November 4th. And I thought things were fine. I thought I wouldn't hear from them again. But on December 3rd, I got a message, and I don't think I read this one. On December 3rd, I got a, wow, you kids are sick. Your mother's in the hospital in a coma, and you and your brother are going to attack her after everything she's done for you. She's bought you plane tickets, got you protected, which now you guys are gonna need because your address, your phone number, and your name and photos are posted everywhere outside. Oh, and you and your brother won't see a freaking penny of her life insurance policies. You've been cut out of her will. You don't get to attack and hurt your mother without retaliation. And I sent that to my brother, and both him and I are just like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like 99% sure this is just my mom using text-to-speech and pretending to be the weed guy. But it's just like, what do they mean? She bought us plane tickets to get us protected. The fuck does she mean by that? Protected from who? Plane tickets for what? What? That doesn't make any sense. And it's like, I'm sure she didn't actually do anything, but it's a hilarious image to me to think of my mother, who again was pretending to weed guy that she literally couldn't get out of bed. But then when he was at work, she would get up and drive and go to the motel and have sex with her ex-neo-Nazi. It's hilarious to me to think of like her printing out these horribly misspelled posters of like my brother and I's names and addresses, like probably even incorrect, with like pictures of us being like, these kids hate their mother, call them and harass them. Like what? Fucking tacking them up on the phone poles around town. Like what the fuck, man? I just like, and I like how they also say you won't see a freaking penny of her life insurance policies. What fucking, like, if I signed anything, I'd probably just get debt. What do they mean by this? Oh god, not ex-neo-Nazi, neo-Nazi X. Get it right. That's true. He's still a neo-Nazi. What life insurance? Oh god.